Major General Peris, Ambassador Julie, my old friend Raja Mohan, dear colleagues. Ambassador Julie and I come from the same town in California, Huntington Beach. It's known as Surf City, USA. Just south of Los Angeles, it has some of the best, most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world, if you don't count beaches in Sri Lanka. Our hometown sits right on the Pacific Ocean, and if I had a sailboat, and sadly I don't own a sailboat, but if I had one, I could sail my little boat from our hometown in California to Tokyo, to Mumbai, to Honolulu, and even to Colombo. The United States is an Indo-Pacific power. We are connected literally to Asia. We share trade routes, we share concerns about ocean pollution and our shrinking fishing grounds. We know that security and prosperity of Asia is inextricably linked with our own security and prosperity. In February, I was with Secretary of State Blinken in Melbourne when he announced our Indo-Pacific strategy. It is a vision of a free, open, prosperous, resilient, and secure Indo-Pacific region. But what does that mean in practical terms? Just as Ambassador Julie outlined a few examples of her own, let me offer my perspective. First, the first element is building free and open societies in the Indo-Pacific. And this means advocating for transparent and responsive government that aims to serve our citizens. It also means, as partners, that we agree on transparent rules, like free elections, that benefit all of us. Second, we also want to focus on forging our interconnectivity and our collective capacity. In our modern world, common action is a strategic necessity. No country, no matter how big, can prosper on its own or protect itself on its own. We will work together as a regional community to tackle our shared problems and to stand together to face threats to our global order. Third is Indo-Pacific prosperity. The prosperity of everyday Americans is linked to the Indo-Pacific. And as we've said, we all benefit from the prosperity of our respective countries. Sri Lanka is a great example of this. We believe that supporting Sri Lanka's ambitious climate and clean energy goals of 70% renewable energy by 2030 and net zero carbon emissions by 2050 helps everyone. U.S. assistance is helping Sri Lanka make its power sector more secure, reliable, and sustainable. And that sector will attract investment to Sri Lanka and advance its prosperity. Fourth is Indo-Pacific security. Not only is it important for the United States to be a steadfast ally in this region, we also need to enhance our capabilities of our partners to maintain a secure region, both to defend our interests, but also to defend an open, rules-based global order and to deter aggression. As Secretary Blinken said on our trip to the region, our strategy is built on collaboration. And finally, we want to build regional resilience. We are only as strong as our collective ability to respond to shared challenges. We saw this in our collaboration in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. donated more than 180 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to the region, and we're working with India and other Quad partners to expand production of COVID-19 vaccines in India for distribution in the Indo-Pacific region and beyond. In the face of Russia's war against Ukraine, we must all remember that the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity are being challenged in many places around the world, including right here in the Indo-Pacific. The kind of aggression we're seeing in Ukraine cannot be tolerated, lest our rules-based international community dissolve into an anarchic, might makes right world. I hope we can stand together as a united Indo-Pacific region to denounce this brutal war and the idea that a big country can simply invade its smaller neighbor. Let me conclude with a story about Raja Mohan. I've known Raja for 26 years, almost as long as I've known my wife. And back in the old days when we first met, we were both a little thinner and we definitely had darker hair. And when I met him, he was a pundit. He was in India writing for the Indian Express and doing analysis for IDSA, the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. Whenever the Ministry of External Affairs wouldn't agree to see us, Raja was always good for a quote and a cup of tea. And in May of 1998, when India conducted its secret nuclear test in the Rajasthan desert, we also discovered that Raja has a degree in nuclear physics. He's not just a pretty face. Raja has been involved in the U.S.-India relationship since the beginning of this new chapter, for over 30 years. He has seen the best and the worst of times. I am honored to share this virtual stage with him. Colleagues, we say that the Indo-Pacific strategy is meant to show that we do not stand against a particular country or a group of countries. It's meant to show that we stand for something. We stand for a free and open Indo-Pacific for which I will be able to sail my fictional sailboat from one end of this vast region to another, from Los Angeles all the way up to Colombo. I hope you will come and sail with us.